Jeff the Killer is often described as a monster, a ferocious killer that leaves no witnesses, a sick, twisted individual. He has no rules, no boundaries. There's nothing about this white-faced weirdo that's redeemable. He is an absolute monster.
Kiss, kiss for love.
Now you might be asking yourself, what is this? What am I looking at? And where can I find more? Well, what you're looking at is a webcomic named Jeff Woods the Killer, a Webtoon series created by Willer Gray. Not to be confused by the other Jeff the Killer Webtoon series. This is a romantic horror series where we see Jeff's romance blossom while his mental state degrades as his darker side slowly takes over him. Now, why would someone make something like this? You take a character well known for being evil and edgy and make him a love interest in your story? Granted, that's not a unique scenario, but it doesn't stop it from being weird. Is it cringe? Yes. But is it scary? Is it a good adaptation of the Jeff the Killer story? Is it good at all? Well, let's find out together. But before I delve deeper into the story, I just want to say, do not go and harass Willer Gray. This is not an attack video. I'll make comments and jabs towards him, but it's not an invitation to harass him. From what I've seen, he seems like a nice guy, and he's gone through enough trouble due to the problems with the other Webtoon Jeff the Killer creator. So please, don't send any hate towards the guy, it's just unneeded. Now with that out of the way, let's delve into this BL story. The story follows Jeff as we see his relationship develop with his friend Sugar, real name being Billy. Yes, the same Billy Jeff visited the birthday party of in the iconic story. Is it kind of weird? Yes! But this aspect is so disconnected from the iconic story, you might kind of just wave it off. As his relationship develops with Sugar, we see his slow transformation into a killer, due to his darker side getting a greater hold of his body. The structure follows the iconic Jeff the Killer story fairly close. Jeff and Lou are attacked by bullies, so Jeff goes sicko mode on them. This leads to police coming over, trying to arrest Jeff, but Lou puts the blame on himself to save Jeff. Later on, he goes to Billy's birthday, but then the bullies show up and cause trouble, making Jeff fight the bullies, and eventually end with Jeff being burned. As of writing the script, the story has only gotten to the hospital part where they're about to remove the covering around Jeff's face. Jeff the Killer has yet to be officially be part of the story, besides some flash forward scenes. Now picture that story, but as an edgy boys love drama. The reason why the bullies are harassing the brothers is because Randy wants to get with Jeff. The reason the bullies attack Jeff at the party is because Randy got jealous of Sugar for kissing Jeff, making Randy attack Sugar, and thus making Jeff attack Randy, and so making Choi and Keith attack Jeff. What in the Wattpad am I reading? Now, what do I think of the story? That the violation of the iconic creepypasta and character. It's pretty good! You have to understand, the series is more than just gay fanfiction. The reinterpretation of the iconic story is actually interesting. More interesting than the 2015 reboot at least. Don't get me wrong, the bad parts are still there. It is still based on a shitty creepypasta.
Jeffrey, this officer is saying that you attacked some kids yesterday and stabbed one of them. Stabbed, Jeffrey.
They took my fucking eye.
And there's some really questionable parts. Imagine other stories having the same disclaimer.
Rich bastard and kiss me. Squidward.
But overall, the weaker parts of the story are outshined by the compelling additions. One of the best enhancements to the story is how the characters are written. Jeff here has a sort of Jekyll and Hyde thing going on, having this evil mirror version of himself taking over him when he goes psycho. Mirror Jeff is wild as fuck, not going to lie. What do you mean by that? You going to milk him? Actually, looking at Sugar, he probably has some milk on them titties. Anyway, Mirror Jeff and Soft Jeff are very different. Soft Jeff is, well, a soft boy. He can barely hurt a fly, and he gets easily flustered. Meanwhile, Mirror Jeff is a psychopathic sadist who has to deal with a dark, tentacled creature. Yeah, I have no answer for you. I don't know why this happens. And he also wants to bone Sugar. Now, I both like and don't like this addition for Jeff. I like it because it explains the whole weird feeling Jeff was feeling in the iconic story. But I don't like it because it takes away the responsibility from Jeff. All the drama and interesting characterization is gone when it's this mirror asshole doing the bad stuff, not Jeff himself. I prefer Sarah Beebe's interpretation of him just being a deranged sadist who's kind of an asshole.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I can't explain it, but I feel alive.
But I don't know, maybe Willer will do something clever with this. We'll just have to wait and see. The way Lou is written here is actually really engaging. Instead of being just a basic character there to be a plot device and die, he's actually a clever and manipulative person. Like he threatens Randy in order to protect his brother. He also cares for Jeff after he has an episode due to Mirror Jeff. Also, he proposes sharing Sugar with Jeff. What's with people wanting to bone Sugar?
You're such a man slut.
And in one of the chapters, Lou fucking advertises a drawing tablet. That's really funny to me. In a Q&A session, he also threatens us to like and comment. Lou, the comments are fucking disabled. I can't do anything about that. Maybe this is all a hint to him becoming homicidal Lou. Willer did draw him like that here. Holy shit, is that Nita the killer? Overall, Jeff and Lou's relationship has more of a spotlight here that better illustrates how much Lou cares for Jeff, and vice versa. Billy, or Sugar as he's often referred to because Jeff came up to him one day and called him Sugar. Jeff, you little shit! You can't just do that, that's not how it works. Regardless, Sugar is Jeff's main love interest and becomes a cop in the future, trying to hunt down Jeff the killer. Sugar is likable, and best of all, not a dumb love interest. He's able to determine that something is wrong with Jeff and finds a way to counter that. Not to mention he's buff as fuck. Also, fun fact, in my second Jeff ranking video, I referred to Sugar as Candy in the script. So I had to fix that by dubbing myself with a robot voice. So the plot so far is that Randy and
Sugar,
have a crush on Jeff. Chaos ensues, though his nickname is
Sugar.
here. I thought that was just me being dumb, but then I saw this Q&A with the author, and the questioner also referred to Sugar as Candy. I think it's because Candy just sounds nicer as a nickname than Sugar, so we put a Zorro and just renamed Sugar as Candy in our heads. I wonder if Willer is annoyed that he didn't name Sugar as Candy instead. No one wants Sugar as a name, let alone a last name. Rebecca Sugar, what kind of family name is that? Are you from a family of bakers? The relationship between Sugar and Jeff is it's fine, it's cute, but I personally think Willer doesn't give Sugar and Jeff enough time to really develop their relationship and show us their chemistry. We see Sugar caring for Jeff and Jeff crushing on Sugar so hard that he sniffs his clothes. What the fuck? But that's not enough for me. I want the bickering, the drama. I want small sweet moments before we get to that kiss. However, like every adaptation of the Jeff the Killer story, the bullies are the best characters. Randy, instead of being the alpha male he is charactered here as a beta bitch simp who gets caught by Sugar. At first, I hated this version of Randy, but he's actually grown to me. He's a sad boy cock, but he's my sad boy cock. Keith is the most interesting character out of the three. He's given more complexity here, and honestly, he's a lot more fun as a character. He struggles with emotions, he has a complicated relationship with the Wood brothers, as their dads have a connection with each other, and he cares deeply for his sister Kaylee. and his friend Randy. But not Troy, I guess. Yet Troy gets shafted often. Not only the characters don't care for him, but neither does the author. He doesn't have any insightful flashback or character-defining moments besides getting beat up by Jeff. Neither the killer, someone who's not even part of the fucking story at this point, gets a cool gangster art. But Troy, nah, he can go fuck himself. He doesn't even get a cool outfit here. He's put in the fucking background. What the fuck, Wheeler Gray? What did Troy ever do to you? You know what? Fuck Randy. Troy's my goat now. Hold on. Is this an audition for the English dubbing of the series? Holy shit! I can get into this! Hi, it's me, Angelo Sketch, and today I'm auditioning for the role of Troy. Hey, it's me, Troy, the straight best friend. Randy and Kid are pretty cool guys for letting me hang out with them. I don't really have a beef with the Wood Boys, but Randy is desperate for Jeff's attention. But he keeps failing to get him. He just doesn't have wrists like I do. I would love to risk the Wood Boy's mom. Damn, she's a certified MILF. However, there is this part. You see, in this scene, Troy is texting the author himself? What? What does it mean? Wheeler Gray, you sick fuck. Tell me what this means. We also have the original character, Keely, Kid's sister who seems to have a few screws loose. She sees blank tarot cards that Jeff could also see. Ooh, what does that mean? I think she got a crush on Lou, but I'm not sure. But she does cut his hair. She actually seems like an interesting character so far. However, I can't help but think she looks like Elizabeth Acton, but a smug asshole. Overall, the characters are actually really interesting, and a fun adaptation of the iconic Jeff the Killer characters. I hate the paneling of this webcomic. I hate the paneling of any webcomic that does this narrow line thing. I know it's for ease of use for phone users, but that's stupid. I'm able to read mangas fine on my phone in the traditional booklet look. Why can't these comics do that as well? It's annoying, it's exhausting to read with, it's just not fun. But, despite the limitations, Wheeler can get creative with it. For example, when the bullies are attacking the Wood Brothers, he can differentiate soft Jeff's thoughts and mirror Jeff's thoughts by the faded edgy look mirror Jeff's text has. There's a lot of edgy faded white text that really highlights how overwhelming the sadistic voice Jeff has to deal with. But not going to lie, some of the texts are unintentionally funny. Stab him 47 times in the chest. Randy, get ready for me to kill your ass. Little brain surgery will do, or cut off his you-know-what. Also, when Jeff was fighting Keith and Troy within Sugar's party, there's some binary codes that roughly translate to SOS, help, I'm trapped too, please. Which, in my opinion, is soft Jeff trying to communicate while trapped within mirror Jeff. I like the idea of using coded message for soft Jeff to cry out with, but I don't like the use of binary code. What, is Jeff a computer whiz or something? I think it's better if it's a worded code instead, like this one. The art, overall, is pretty nice. It balances the shoujo cutesy anime style pretty well with the hardcore edgy look it delves into at times. There's some really creative edgy visuals that go so hard you can't help but screenshot it. Not every bit of art is good though. The fuck is this, Mr. Gray? You can't draw controllers? And in all honesty, I don't like this Jeff the Killer design. It just doesn't scream Jeff the Killer to me. He looks more like Soul from Soul Eater. Doesn't help that most of the cast are white as fuck, so Jeff's bleached face doesn't really stand out. The main problem really is just that he looks too nice. I know he's supposed to be an attractive twink, but I want his face to be fucked up or scarred. You can still make him look attractive, just fuck his face up a little. Something like how I Just Wanna Have Fun draws him. And trust me, some people will probably think that scarred look looks hotter. I'm tired of pretty boy Jeff. I'm tired of that shit. Now, Is this a good horror story?
No.
It got nominated for Outstanding Chilling Stories, but majority of the series is just homoerotic tension. The only ones who be scared of this comic are homophobes. But as a young adult anime-esque story, it's pretty good. It's a lot of fun, the characters are engaging, the art mostly looks nice to look at, and if you're into the boys love genre, there's a lot for you to sink your teeth in. You have to understand, I love cringe sappy love stories, and this is no exception. All he has to do is make me care about the characters and I'm on board. I am a man with terrible taste, but if Jeff the Killer isn't your cup of tea, you can always read Gay Crisis Island.
This anime is obviously a romantic school comedy. Haruhi and I are the main characters, so that means we are love interests. Yeah, then what are we? You boys are the homosexual supporting cast. So please make sure that you don't step across this line. You've got to be kidding.